тамошобинони азиз, мухлисон ва ҳаводорони барномаҳои ҷолиби телевизиони варзиш. Давоми 3 рӯз дар пойтахти Тоҷикистон, шаҳри Душанбе, мусобиқаи санъати муҳорибаҳои омехта миёни наврасон баргузор гардид ва мо имрӯз фурсат дорем ки бо ду шахсони расмии равияи варзишии мазкур, бо президенти Федератсияи санъати муҳорибаҳои омехтаи Тоҷикистон Даврон Juraev ва директори иҷроиявии Федератсияи байналмилалии муҳорибаҳои санъати омехта Densign суҳбате анҷом дошта бошем. Хоб, Mr.Davron, Mr. Densign, very welcome to Tajikistan for you, and thank you so much for joining us during the interview. Well, as I know, it's your first visit to Tajikistan, to our capital, to Dushanbe. How do you like the Dushanbe, and how you estimate that today's tournament and generally Tajikistan Mixed Martial Amateur Federation and the work they are making now?
Well, this is my first visit to Dushanbe. I really like the city. I didn't have the opportunity to see as much as I wanted to, but from what I saw, it looks like a really progressive, young, vibrant place, and I hope I can visit again in the future. In terms of the event, I was really impressed. You can see the level of production and presentation. You don't normally see this for a youth tournament. Normally this is the level you would see for like an international European Championship or some Grand Prix event or Grand Slam event. But we've seen TV production, sound, lighting, smoke machines, you know, the video playing with the events from the previous year, from the World Championships, to help motivate the athletes. So I think the level has been very good. One of my colleagues is here doing training of officials. I think the standard was quite high of the officials as well. I didn't see any big mistakes. And the skill level of the athletes was off the charts.
Yeah, great, thanks. Generally, the organizational level was very high and the performance was also very good.
Very, very high.
Mr. Davron, you are as a head of the federation. How do you estimate the juniors competitions?
First of all, I would like to appreciate Mr. Densign for accepting our invitation and coming here to Dushanbe. Very welcome, sir.
Thank you.
I am very happy that 3 days we were able to present a small holiday to the first of all the athletes, then to the visitors, the coaches, our federation team, and all the guests. Regarding the tournament, I think we are trying to keep all the standards of IMMAF, International Mixed Martial Arts Federation, and time to time, year to year, we're trying to put the more big goals to achieve them in the future.
Very good. And what are the main goals now for the TAJMMAF?
I think the main goals are very objective for our team, because 2 last years we were third team in the medal list after the Worlds in Abu Dhabi, and this is our third championship, will be the third championship, and I hope and our target is only gold, only first place.
Yeah, sure. The last year was very productive for the Tajikistan Mixed Martial Arts Federation, and Tajikistan athletes had very, very impressive performance in the World Cup. And how is the position of the Tajikistan MMAF in the international level, especially in the international federation?
Well, right now Tajikistan is the #1 country in the senior level. And as Mr. Davron has just said, the youth are now coming up to the same standard, finishing in the top 3 in the Youth World Championships in the medal table. So I expect to see an improvement. I think the youth, from what I've seen here today, I think they're going to be quite high in the table again. We have very big teams that come to the Youth Championships from Ukraine who are very strong. They were #1, and they have been #1 for the last 2 or 3 years. So they're the team to beat at the moment. And obviously Irish team is also very strong. So I think, you know, obviously the teams that have the most athletes are the ones that are most likely to be higher up the table. But Tajikistan is going to be there in force with a big team.
But I think with such an effort, we can shift all the teams in the general standings.
Yeah.
Mr. Densign, what about the collaboration with the Tajikistan MMA Federation? What are the plans? What are the future projects which you're going to conduct together and complete with the Tajikistan Mixed Martial Arts Federation?
Well, we continue to work with Mr. Davron and the Tajikistan Federation to continue to develop the youth, and our focus is on youth development. And but the remit is wider than just Tajikistan. We want to develop Asia as well. We're hoping that Mr. Davron will be standing as a candidate for the president of the Asia continental body.
Great.
So this election will happen maybe in the next 2 months, 3 months. And then I think once that happens, I think a lot of good things can happen. We don't just want Tajikistan to be strong, we want all of the Asia countries to be very strong, and they are very strong, especially in Central Asia. You have Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, you know, we have Kyrgyzstan as well, but some very strong countries in this area.
Yeah, Mr. Davron, you especially as the head of the federation try to spread the geography of the MMA in Tajikistan. Recently, you had a tournament in the Dangara, now in the Dushanbe. Which area you are going to cover in the upcoming future?
Of course, we are targeting the new regions, new cities, new areas, because we are searching for the young and hungry athletes who will be able to compete with the best athletes in the world. Of course, we are targeting and we are planning this year maybe to provide some tournament in Khoruch or in Vanj. We will see. But regarding our results and responsibility, I would like to mention that this year we are also as well on target on many countries, and our activities, as Mr. Densign quite mentioned, the Asia is very strong continent for now, and to compete with the best teams will be, and to keep the positions, one of the best positions in the world, it will be harder and harder because competition is getting more.
And Mr. Davron, what about the achievements? As we know, sure, organization level of the tournaments are very high. Our juniors show best performance in the world arena. But what about the individual promotion by the TAJMMAF? As we know, some of the, let's say, athletes by your federation now are performing and battling in the best arenas, in the best platforms in the world. For example, Khurshid Nazarov. He is an athlete who came from the TAJMMAF. Is it true?
Look, one of the main reasons and main strategic goals of our federation is popularization of sports. So to involve the youth to the sports, to promote the healthy kind of lifestyle. Secondly, it is about safety. And I would like to mention that MMA nowadays, it is the most safety kind of sports between, let me say, combat sports. Because as you saw today, it is not allowed to kick at the head till 18. And it is very important, you know, when the sportsmen, when the athletes grows year by year, category by category, and he is becoming more confident and more prepared for the big events, big tournaments and championships. So, and I believe that the amateur road is very important in our days, because we are talking about athletes' health, and it is the best and safety road to prepare athletes for professional career. So the athletes, and we have some statistic as well, the athletes who are passed through this road, the road of amateur MMA, they are much more successful in the best leagues. They are achieving good results, and I believe maybe this 1-2 year we're gonna have the first UFC champion from IMMAF. And as for our stars, as Khurshid Nazarov or others, every of them have their own road. And exactly, Khurshid is not, he played for amateur, but not with TAJMMAF.
It means that he doesn't have any contract with the TAJMMAF, but he has very
No,
close
but
cooperation.
we have good cooperation with him, and we are working on managing the professional fighters who came from amateur.
Great. Mr. Densign, a few years ago when we had an interview with Mr. Brown, he mentioned one of the strategic goals of the IMMAF is that including the IMMAF and mixed martial arts to the program of the Olympic Games. In which stage you are now on processing of including this sport to the Olympic Games?
Well, this is still a work in progress. There has been changes at the international level. Some restructuring has taken place within the recognition body. So GASEF was dissolved. Now all the recognition process has gone to Sport Accord, which is the big umbrella organization for Olympic and non-Olympic sports. They are creating a new application process, which is disappointing for us because we already were in the process for 8 years. Now we have to start again with the new process. But actually the new process is not bad because we were disappointed a little bit with the old one and that it was taking so long and it was kind of not very transparent in the way that the decisions were being made. Now the new process looks as if it's going to be more transparent, more accountability. It's looking more into the governance of the International Federation, but not only the International Federation, but the members of the International Federation as well. The national federations will also have to show their governance is at a high level. The bar has been raised in terms of how many recognized federations you need to have. In the past it was 40. They defined recognized as recognized by the Olympic Committee or by the high sports authority in the country. Now they've raised this to 60, which is quite a high
progress.
bar. Quite a high bar.
Yeah.
In the new process, you can appeal the decision if it goes against you, which there was no appeals process before. The only part I still don't like about the new process is that our application can still be vetoed by another sport. And, you know, in the past we were blocked by combat sports. So
definitely, I would like to mention about the combat sport.
yes.
So can you make a prediction when most likely this federation and this sport will be included to the program of the Olympic Games?
That's difficult to say, and actually I don't even really like to talk about it because this is one of the things that is frightening the other combat sports who have been waiting a long time to be in the Olympic program. They are years ahead of us waiting, and the WACO, the kickboxing's been in the process a long time, Muay Thai, Sambo. And when we start talking about the Olympics and being in the Olympics, that's what's causing them to be worried about us. And I don't want them to be worried about us because I want to work with them. What's critical for me is the recognition, which will give MMA legitimacy. It will give all of our members around the world, our 130 members, they will have legitimacy in their own locations. They will be recognized by their government or by their Ministry of Sport. And potentially they could attract financial support as well, just by the fact that they are then recognized.
Yeah.
So, and also for us, it's good because then we, you know, at the moment we rely on people's goodwill, you know, to follow the IMMAF way. You know, we're like the lion but without the teeth. You know, having the recognition will give us the teeth to enforce the regulations. People will have to do what we want them to do. At the moment, they're happy to work with us and they're doing it voluntarily, but you know, it will give us that legitimacy and give us the teeth to enforce our rules and our regulations.
Up to now is a very good achievement. Mr. Davron, do you have any statistics how many people were involved to the MMA when the federation was created and how many people now are involved, how many athletes are working out in the MMA sport?
Interesting question. I think, as I remember, there were zero numbers. For now, the last numbers of our youth championship is more than 700. It is the kids from 10 to 17, and soon in August we are going to have our Republican Championship between juniors and seniors, and I believe the numbers will be more than 400. Totally, maybe there are more than 1,000 active athletes who are always participating on our championship. But I would like to mention that in many gyms, they are to participate today, and I think it is our achievement today to participate in our Republican or city championship. They are making some boats, some qualification fights in their gyms.
Oh.
So the numbers of athletes who are involved in MMA, of course, they are.
In order to get to the next stage.
Yes, there are thousands and thousands, but I don't know exactly the number.
But anyway, it's good statistic, good numbers. Well, the question which I've been thinking for a long time, as I know, you encourage a lot financially the athletes who taking places, who are prizers. What are the financial incomes for federation? What are the feedback? Only popularization of MMA and promoting the athletes to the high levels, or the federation also have any incomes?
I would like to divide this answer into two parts.
Okay.
First is every personality have its own goals. Maybe dreams.
Sure.
And especially me, when I when I see the rising flag of our country, or listening the national anthem, this is the most maybe vulnerable and best moments in my life, and I try to memorize and save it. This is my income, personal income. As for federation, of course, every successful federation, it should have
sources of income.
No, it should have a proper strategy. So, of course, today without funds, we cannot do anything.
Sure.
Only desire or wish doesn't doesn't work. So, in this regard, today we have some sponsorships, we have some partners, and year to year, tournament to tournament, we are working with our partners, and we are showing them that we are efficient enough, we are confident, we are stable, and our tournaments like this, as we just provided, they are showing to our partners and the new the guys who are watching on us the opportunities to sell their products themselves in these fields, and we are very active in media.
Or advertise their brands.
Yes, and we are trying to build the independent federation. In this maybe 3 years, we have strict strategy. We accepted it on the paper, and every member of federation knows his role, his KPI, his target,
yes.
And we are following.
Yeah, very good. Mr. Densign, what is, let's say, big upcoming event by IMMAF? For example, we have followers in our country who are watching the events. What is the next big event by IMMAF?
The next big event is happening actually next week.
Oh.
The Africa Continental Championships are in Namibia, so it's starting next week. and it's the biggest Africa Championships we ever had. The entry is very high. A lot of countries are taking part that didn't take part before, and the sport is growing in popularity in Africa. And I think UFC had a lot to do with that, because they have they had three or four African champions. So I think that has really motivated a lot of people to get involved in the sport there. So I think, yeah, that's going to be a big event. And then, of course, the big one that we're really interested in after that is the Youth World Championships in August in Abu Dhabi. So that starts on the 5th to the 10th of August. And I think it's going to be our biggest youth tournament ever.
During your visit, you met a lot of people, you saw the whole infrastructure in the Dushanbe. How do you think when Tajikistan, when Dushanbe can host the World Championship by MMA?
When they're ready?
When they will apply?
When they're ready, we're ready. And
Directly question to the Mr.Davron.
When
When
they're ready,
Dushanbe
anytime.
will host World
It will be
Championship?
our pleasure to come to Tajikistan.
Thank you for your trust, sir. In 2022, we hosted the
Asian, yes. I remember.
In short notice, and the only one concern was to achieve the first place, because it's huge responsibility. It was huge responsibility for me as the head of the federation, and you know our people. They are, of course, they were waiting for on the goal.
Sure.
So we did it successfully. It was a big risk, but we did it. This time, yeah, I think we would be able, maybe next year or year after this, 25, 26, to accept to host the Worlds, because this year Mr.Densign just started to name the big events, and one of the big events this year is World Championship in Tashkent, Uzbekistan in November. So we are already getting our preparations for the Worlds. I think it will be interesting for
Great.
our country especially.
Yeah.
So, but next year it is discussable, I would say, because there are many points, but we have enough infrastructure. We have a good team.
Sure.
We have all the other potential opportunities to host it in a good level and to try to be the first on this there.
I'm sure that together we can complete and reach all the goals now we have. And thank you so much for joining us in this interview. It was very interesting, very informative, especially for me,
Thank you very
to find out a lot of new things about the sphere, about the upcoming plans. And now we can, I think, finish this interview, but I'm sure that it is the next interview, not the final one. тамошобини азиз, дар ҳаминҷо барномаи мо ба анҷом мерасад. хотиррасон мешавем ки мо мусоҳибае доштем бо президенти федератсияи муҳорибаҳои омехтаи Тоҷикистон Даврон Juraev ва директори иҷроиявии федератсияи байналмилалии санъати муҳорибаҳои омехта Densign. Сарбаланду хона обод бошед то барномаҳои дигар.